Okay, hello everyone, and I'll be talking about the Chronomancer today. And I don't have a lot of experience with Mesmers because I've only got one little newbie alt who is a Mesmer, and I've never really played proper endgame Mesmer kind of stuff. So sorry about that. I can't tell you like I could with my Ellie if the new Elite Specialization is something that people are just going to naturally gravitate to because the rest of their options are a bit naff. In comparison at least. So I can't tell you that, but what I can say is it seems quite cool. It's definitely something you're going to want to play if you enjoy thinking ahead a little bit, I suppose. Using a bit more strategy than rather just the gun-ho kind of my usual Ellie stuff at least, which is crit build, kind of just get the biggest crits and all this other MacGuffins, just throw out your attacks essentially. So yeah, if you want a bit more strategy, I think Chronomancer is probably the way to go. So let's have a look at their new shield abilities, which is Echo of Memory and Deja Vu, which you use Deja Vu and then if you block the next incoming attack, it uses Echo of Memory. They seem alright, I suppose. They use, this is one of the abilities using Alacrity, which I'm fairly sure is new to the Chronomancer. It's in a lot of their stuff. Alacrity, as you can see, decreases your skill recharge rate. Something that could be potentially very useful in certain situations, well, almost all the time, frankly. So that's nice. And then you've got Tides of Time, which was shown off quite a bit in the Chronomancer trailer, which I'll show you here. Boom, like that, and then it'll come back on you and grant you quickness. I'm pretty sure it does a little bit of extra damage as well if it comes back on the enemy, or maybe stuns them or something. So that's kind of nice. There's nice two new weapon abilities. I mean, not quite as cool as the Warhorn abilities I find, but that's not a very fair comparison considering you get, 8 new abilities with the Warhorn, and this obviously only has the 2 new abilities. But apart from that, you've got Continuum Split, which is a new Shatter ability. It destroys all of your illusions, and if you have, basically more the better destroyed in this case, as the effect will be the amount of time between you. I'll tell you what, I'll read out the explanation for Continuum Split. Destroy all your illusions and create a rift in the time-space continuum. When it expires, you will revert back to this point with your previous health, endurance, and skill recharges. Duration increases per illusion shattered. So obviously, the more illusions, the better. And that, it seems pretty cool. I am an idiot, and I just like to pop a lot of abilities and try and go through my big crits, like I said before. So I haven't really been using this very tactfully, and I'll be honest, I haven't played loads of this character as of yet. I have not played tons of Chronomancer, but what I have played has been pretty cool. Cool enough, certainly. Although not as fun in my eyes as the Tempest. But that's just obviously me being biased. So apart from Continuum Split, the new Shatter, they also have their new Heal, Elite, and Utilities, and they go by Well. That is the name. They're Wells. Something that I'm fairly sure is new to the class, although maybe not new to the game. I'm not sure. Anyway, so your new Heal is Well of Eternity. Create a well that rewinds time, granting vigor to allies. When it expires, the well heals all allies in the area. Not too shabby. Well of Precognition, sorry. Creates a well that gives allies the ability to see the future and makes their attacks unblockable. When it expires, allies in the war briefly evade all incoming attacks. Pretty goddamn good for groups. I imagine that's going to get a lot of use in SPVP. Well of Calamity. Create a well that rends time, damaging, weakening, and crippling foes in the area. When the final pulse of Well of Calamity triggers, it deals massive damage to foes in the area. Not too bad. And then Well of Recall creates a well of memory which speeds allied skill recharge. When it expires, it steals memories from foes, damaging and chilling them. Also, that grants a bit of alacrity to you as well, so it's going to give you a bit of a boost in your recharge rate. And then finally, the elite skill, Gravity Well. Create a powerful well that warps space in an area, damaging foes and granting stability to allies when it expires. The well floats enemies caught in it. That's pretty handy. I wouldn't say it's like amazing. I don't know. Maybe stat-wise it's better than it appears, but I'm not totally sure. Like I say, not familiar with Mesmer. So that's all the new abilities you get. New utilities, new heal, new elite. And we'll just, this is something I forgot to do with the Tempest, but I may just redo that at some point. I'm just going to show you guys the actual elite specialization tree or line, whatever you want to call it. So it starts with something called Time Splitter, the first passive. You can equip shields and gain access to Chronomancer wells, gain access to... Okay, I didn't know it's quite so literal. Fair enough. So your first choices are interrupting a foe slows them for 3 seconds, doesn't appear to have a cooldown. I mean, that could be useful, I suppose. Do I have any interrupts in Scepter? No, I appear not to. I don't know, I suppose you create something that that can use that. Although I don't see that being the most commonly used thing. Activating a Shatter gives your illusions super speed. I don't know why I've got this equipped, to be honest. Whatever, that seems like a very meh kind of thing, at least from somebody who doesn't play, with the perspective of somebody who doesn't normally play Mesmer. Wells remove conditions from allies when they end. Now that seems like something that's going to get a fair bit of use, potentially at least. Gain alacrity when you shatter, obviously that's, you know, pretty decent as far as the passives go. Danger Time, gain additional critical hit chance against slowed enemies. Now, I suppose you could say that's where the synergy there comes in. If you want the increased crit chance, obviously you're going to go with this one here, delayed reactions, and then Danger Time. But you know, it's a bit on the nose, I find. Illusionary Reversion, gain a clone after you activate a Shatter skill. Now that's I don't actually know the difference between clones and illusions, so again, don't play Mesmer, sorry. So maybe that's better. I mean, that doesn't seem too bad to me, but what do I know? Alacrity applies to you lasts longer. Now that, a duration increase of 33%, so that would mean, presumably, that has gone up to 99%. But that seems 99% skill recharge rate. That can't be right. I don't know. I'm not sure on that one, to be honest. But that seems like it would be the best. Then time marches on. You move 25% faster. The duration of incoming movement, impairing conditions, is reduced by 25%. A pretty goddamn good passive, as far as I'm concerned. Lost time. Gain a charge each time you score a critical hit. After enough charges, your next hit will slow your target. So this top line really is going on the whole slow thing, basically. Then the next one is gain quickness for each illusion you shatter. Yeah, I mean, there is a pretty forward line going on here. A pretty similar, you know, pattern, as it were. I suppose they generally do that, but I'm not 100% sure. And finally, Chronophantasma. Sorry, a little bit tongue-tied there. Your phantasms are resummoned after the first time they are shattered. Now that, they are dazed for a second, but whatever. That seems like it could be pretty fucking good if used correctly. Maybe to spam quite a lot of shatter abilities. Possibly, I don't know. But that's it. That is the Chronomancer. I have mildly enjoyed playing it because I haven't really done much with it. But I will say that it feels as if maybe with these new abilities that, and hopefully this isn't the case, but it kind of feels like, again, this is something people are going to just want to go for. Like, there's no reason to leave it out. I don't know Mesmer enough to say that the base specialization lines are, like, there are a solid 3 that are definitely worthwhile going if you're just a generic damage build, but at least with Ellie it really seems like there's no reason not to go Tempest, because you can drop Arcane. You don't fucking need Arcane if you're going damage, and that's what most people will throw in, you know, their last specialization into, with Ellie at least. But that's not on the topic of Mesmer, so I won't go in more detail on that one. But yeah, seems pretty cool. That's all I gotta say about it, really. Next time, Dragon Hunter.